Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Today is the last day of 2019, and for a lot of people, that is a big sigh of relief. But it's also this point of excitement where it's like, ooh, tabula rasa, blank slate. What type of seeds can I plant for 2020? So, really, really exciting stuff. And what better way to tap into 2020 and see what it has to offer, maybe some of the themes that we're going to roll through in 2020, than to, check it out. So, let's take a look. I have been through a lot of transitions in 2019, as I know many of you have as well. And what I like to do is I like to do a year ahead spread. Okay, so when we're dealing with a year ahead spread, we're going to choose 13 cards. So it seems like a lot for a tarot spread because most of the time I do 3 or 4, but we want to see one for every month. And we're also going to choose a card, which is the 13th card, that sort of shows us what 2020 is going to teach us. So what is going to be the main lesson? Every single month we'll have a theme depending on what card you pick. We'll go through it. And the 13th card will be the overall lesson or what we've learned from the year. So yeah. Also, the 20th card in tarot is the Judgment card. So when we're talking about judgment, we're talking about transformation, we're talking about releasing, we're also talking about purifying our past, detaching, basically reconditioning ourselves to our true selves, not how our families conditioned us, not how past relationships have conditioned us, but essentially how we are going to align with our inner selves and connect to our deepest source, connect to our deepest purpose. So all of those things, and there's that Judgment card there. You can see that that angel is sort of coming out of this swirly cloud, and you've got these nude people at the bottom of the card that are looking to the angel for purification. And you've got these nude people. Nudity in the tarot symbolizes vulnerability. So 2020 is where we peel back the layers, we really get vulnerable with ourselves, and we allow a pure, transformative cleansing to occur, which detachment. Okay, so let's take a look at the year ahead. I'm also going to take a photo of this spread and include it just like as the header for this video, so you can kind of see the way it'll go through, and I'll take some little shots of it too as we maneuver our way. So grab your deck, spread out your cards in whatever fashion you feel comfortable with. I do 2 rows just ahead of me. And let's start choosing. Choose 13. And you can really just sort of connect to the deck any way you see fit. I like to take a shower before I read cards just to make sure that I'm nice and clean and that the energy around me is nice and clean. I also like to use some mugwort, to burn some mugwort to sort of cleanse the air a little bit too, so I can get a nice clear reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. Last but not least, there we go. So, and you can, choose cards in any way you want. Some people wave their hands over the deck and feel for energies. Some people just choose the ones that jump out to them first, which is sort of the way that I do it. Sometimes I do a combination of both too. So let's lay them out and see what's up. So January, wow, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Ooh, cool. So the lesson, and we'll get to that last. So January is the month that we're phasing into. And this is applicable for everyone, not just me. You can also do this reading in a personalized way, but I did this reading as a general reading for all of 2020. So if you want to take notes, that's cool too. So for January, hi Priestess, getting to know yourself in that deeper sort of way, learning, utilizing evenings as a point of study, as a point of absorption for knowledge. Be the sponge. Be a sponge to any sort of information, especially if it's about the self, especially if it's about ideas that are in incubation. You have this white little egg here. There's an idea on incubation that she's sitting on, keeping warm and basically reading its stories until it fully hatches. A lot of the times this priestess card can also indicate a mother-like attribute. So aspects of your mother, dealing with your mother. Are you a mother? What does that mean to you? How do you feel about the archetype of the mother? So all of those things are prepared in January for you. Also, the 2 and the High Priestess is synonymous with winter. So lots of receptive energy instead of projecting energy, which is great. Now, February is 4 of Cups. You're going to want to restore yourself. You're going to want to spend some solo time in February. There are going to be a lot of reconstructions as far as emotional aspects go, and this could be emotional healing. So February might be a deep period of emotional healing for you. A lot of the times, this could also indicate the fact that you might want to take a look at some of the emotional structures you've had in your life and whether or not those emotional structures are serving you or not. So February, yeah. Point of emotional sort of transition, point of emotional structure. It could also indicate making your space or your home life a little bit more conducive to relaxing, receptive energy. March is money. So we're talking about this 10 of Pentacles, which is elevating your material situation, which is the end of a financial cycle and the beginning of a new one being born. This is also just everything in its right place. So now that this is in March and we've received all of the abundance that we've worked so hard for, in March, we're going to invest our money in something that's actually going to yield and produce results, new growth, because this just means completion of a financial cycle or completion of a project. This could also indicate good health. A lot of the times too, this could also indicate if you are moving or selling property or anything like that, something like that might happen in March for you as well. April, creative experimentation. This is the Page of Cups, creative experimentation, but also, looking and connecting to your inner child is a big part of it. April is going to be a point of time where new romances may occur. You might feel a little bit naive at this point in time or a little bit experimental romantically. I think that this has a lot to do with, really going back to stage 1 when you were a kid and why you do some things that you do emotionally now that stemmed from your family life or stemmed from some defense mechanisms that you had as a child, and just sort of follow this this path of past emotional trauma even, and look at how this healing journey could start. And it starts with actually voicing how you feel. So being very vocal about your emotional aspects, speaking what's on your mind and on your heart. So April. May, we got the Strength card. So this is tapping into your primal urges. This is also listening to your gut feeling. Strength is not about force, even though it says la force, which just means strength in French. But it's not about force as in pushing. It's about force as in opening, okay? Opening and being vulnerable. And we were talking about this vulnerability before when we were talking about the 20 in the Judgment card. So really, really interesting stuff here that we have this Strength card here in May. This is also like a nurturing type of vibe, taking care of others around you, making sure you're taking care of yourself first, putting the oxygen mask on yourself before others at all times, checking in with your gut feelings to make sure that you are properly aligned emotionally with the direction that you're going in. June, completion of a project, but also creating boundaries. This is the 10 of Wands. Also creating boundaries in regards to what you're able to produce. If you feel like you're taking on too much and you're overwhelmed at this point in time in June, start saying no. Or if you started a project and you're starting to feel it come to, some sort of finish or some sort of head, then that's great. It just means that there's going to be some sort of realization or denouement or some sort of accomplishment at that point in time. And then from that, there is new birth. And that new birth in July creates results, and they're financial results. Really financially support, financial support from many different avenues, maybe even like a father figure, an authority figure. This might be you as an authority figure in July as well. This could also be an inheritance that you get in July. Whatever it is, the King of Pentacles is sitting pretty and has some in his pocket and some stashed away for later. So this just means, financial balance, financial security in July. August, ooh, heck yeah. This is the 6 of Wands. This is all about recognition for your efforts. So recognition for your efforts that you put out in June. June will produce recognition and efforts in August. This also means getting your team, getting your friends, getting your social group together. Who supports you? Who doesn't? You'll learn that in August. And this is the 6 of Wands. I'll list all of these cards too, just in the little recap section on YouTube down below. So you can check that out if you want to kind of, if I missed anything. And September is a time for solitude. September is a time for reconstructing. September is a time to take a break and also take a break mentally. Don't be freaked out to spend some time alone in September because it's only going to lead to your personal growth. And after that time of being slightly hermetic and meditative, we're going to go into October with a free spirit. Again, experimentation. I feel like 2020 is full of experimentation, but also travel. There's going to be a lot of travel in October as well. This is also anything is possible. So a great time for also planting some seeds or manifesting some things or realizing that the world is your oyster in October. October is going to be a really, really big month. So that's great. This is also making sure that you're going with the flow, that you're considering all of those options and not getting confused. Kind of focusing on one direction to go into and trusting the fact that that direction will produce results. Because in November, we have that Lovers card. So the chaos of the Fool turns into the balance of the Lovers card where you see endless amounts of support around you. This could also just indicate the fact that you'll be entering an amorous relationship or there's going to be some sort of familial support as well. This could also mean that it's very similar to the 6 of Wands. So possibly in August, if you meet somebody, November might be the time where you link up in a larger way. And then you also have December where we're at. We've come full circle. It's the 6 of Swords. So again, possible travel, realizing that you've been coming from a place of darkness into a place of light. You've been ascending. This is a mental balance and mental ascension that you've been trying to align with all of 2019. December of 2020, you will have come full circle and just sort of recognized and realized your full potential. A lot of the times the 6 of Swords too can also indicate a path down memory lane. So you might want to consider, maybe writing some memoirs or checking in with those who have had a hard time in 2020, or maybe checking in with some family members that need a little bit of support and mental balance because the holidays can be, as you know. So this is amazing. I love how the Six of Swords is in December, because it is all about mental balance. It's all about structure, realizing that through your mental power, you can grow yourself and heal yourself. That's what the Six of Swords is all about. And it's right there, December 2020. Now, what do we take away from this? What is the big lesson for 2020? The big lesson for 2020 is the Tower. So we're going to need to deconstruct and dissolve in order to reconstruct. And some of these deconstructions and reconstructions are physical, exterior, moving, traveling, changing schools, changing jobs, changing relationships. And some of these things are interior, changing the way we think, changing the way we eat, changing the way we do things on a daily basis, changing where we put our energy and our focus. So it's absolutely positively beautiful that 2020 numerically is a 4 year as well. So when we're talking about fours, we're talking about new structures, and we've got 2 4s in this reading too. So new structures, rebuilding, dissolving to rebuild a better, more secure base for the rest of our lives. So 2020 looks lit. Thank you for tuning in with me. I'm going to list all the cards in the bottom. I'll take a photo of this spread so you can see it. I'll post it just as the front for the spread so you can take a look. Hopefully you enjoyed this. A healing 2020 to you, a prosperous and abundant 2020 to you. I hope that you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and just check in with me from time to time for more tarot insight. I love you all. Bye.